So let's take a look at lesson 8 from unit 2 of 6th grade math. Here we are building up the idea of unit price. We're not at unit rate yet, so we don't need to use that vocabulary yet, but we're at unit price is kind of where we're heading with this. So we're going to work on some division initially, and we want to take a look at how students kind of represent their answer. Of the ones who get the correct answer, who represents it as a fraction or as a decimal, or who struggles to do that and uses a remainder, and then kind of have some conversation about how students work through that and strategies they used and their thinking on that. As we move to activity 2, you're going to give students their think time to kind of work through these on their own and make sure they are reasoning about them well. Students should have access to ruler and anything else they need to represent this. So they don't need to stick with a double number line here. If they want to use something else to do it, that's fine. But when you represent at the end of the activity, you should probably use the double number line, just so that students become more familiar with it and kind of see more and more the value of it as a quick and easy tool to solve this type of problem. There's also the digital applet that helps with this. So I'm going to do this for the 8 avocados costs $4. So here I'm doing avocados, and it was 8 of them. Mark. There we go. And here we're looking at dollars was $4. And so now you can see the 8 and the 4 are set up here. I can move that over and have multiple sets of the 8 and the 4, so 16, 8, 24, and 12. I can also put, with the blue slider, tick marks in between. So kind of get down to the idea that I could buy 4 avocados for $2, or I could buy 2 avocados for $1, or if I keep going, I can get to 1 avocado for 50 cents. So it's 50 cents per avocado. And that's kind of where we want students to get in this. But if they aren't there yet by the end of this activity, that's okay. There's more and we'll have time to get there. That's what you'll pull out in the activity synthesis, though. So take a look at that in the complete lesson plan. And it'll help you kind of think through how to pull out that idea of the unit price. And so students can just hit the reset button and work on the next problem from there. So it's a great tool if they have struggles with drawing double number lines from scratch, or if they just want to use the digital version. Here you're doing the same kind of thing, except you're going to have kids represent kind of in a visual presentation one of these. So I would assign their group after you've checked their work on one of them. So let them pick, start working through the first 3. It says on number 4 to pause and let the teacher check your work. As you're going around, if you see a kid, this group is just acing number 1, then go ahead and tell them to jump to number 3 or number 2 and create their visual display. Kids who are struggling, that gives you a chance to scaffold support on number 1 and number 2, and then let them do their visual after you've helped make sure they understand what they're doing with that. Again, the GeoGebra applet is here, which can help them, and then they can represent that on their visual display to present to the class. If you don't have time to present all of them, that is totally fine. It gets a little boring seeing all of them. You probably want to do at least one of each. And I would pull out the ones who are using in their written piece of their representation per or some kind of unit price idea in there. So that'll help you as you get to your lesson synthesis at the end. And so just again, unit price is what we're going for here. So that's what we want to make sure students are understanding by the end of the day. And we're still building to unit rate. So if they get the idea of unit price, but not necessarily its utility, that's okay as well.